What's up, nerds and nerdettes, and we little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Yes, indeed. So I am back with you with another of my 5 favorite games. And this time is my 5 favorite board games to solo. Now, there's a difference here between a board game you can solo and a one-player game. So there is that difference. I have been planning a one-player only game video. We'll see when that gets around to getting made. But for right now, we have my 5 favorite games that can be soloed. And we're going to start right at the top of the list, number 5. We're going to start, bottom of the list. We're going to start at 5. We're going to work our way up to number 1, my friends. So the number 5 game, the slot there is going to go to a game by Fallen Dominion Studios. That's right, it's a game I've been talking about. It's one of my 2 favorite board games of all time. It's by John Longren and Sean Cahill, and that is Fallen Land, a post-apocalyptic board game. Now, the reason one of my 2 favorite games is listed down in 5 there's really one reason for that, and that's because of the setup time. This game does have a little bit of an involved setup time. And if I'm going to be playing, I want to spend that time for a larger group, for 2, 3 of us, or 4 of us, maybe. Wow, that'd be a long game. Not as long as 5. But anyway, that's the reason why it's number 5 on my list, even though it's usually rated much higher as a game for me, is the setup time. But I really enjoy this game. The way this game plays out, this post-apocalyptic feel, well, not just feel, it's exactly what it is. Post-apocalyptic America. Unlike Fallen Knight board game, which is post-apocalyptic Australia. But in this game, you're the mayor, you're the leader of one of the 10 surviving towns that, after years of all the biological attacks, the nuclear radiation, the maddening where society fell apart, now things are starting to come together. You're one of the mayors of these 10 towns, and you're sending out groups of 5. You're sending out groups to go explore and to establish new areas and resources and follow up on missions and rumors and maybe attack the other players, maybe hire mercenaries. And it's really so much fun. It's so in-depth. It's so involved. The cards relay such stories while you're playing the game. Whether I'm playing with 1 or more, I really, really enjoy playing this game. I love playing this game. It's post-apocalyptic heaven. Absolutely. But because of the setup time for a one-player game, it's at the bottom of this list. But it's on the top 5. All right, so now, coming in, the number 4 slot. Coming in at number 4 is The Lost Expedition by Osprey Games. Now, the reason that this is coming in 4, this is another favorite game of mine. I didn't place it any higher than this because playing it solo is really no different than playing the game with an alpha gamer. It's no different than playing with an alpha gamer, the one-player version of this. The way I feel, it comes across to me whenever I play it solo. I still have a lot of fun doing it, don't get me wrong. It's a really great game of trying to outthink the game itself, trying to outthink the cards and how you're managing your resources to get these individuals to the lost city of Z, to El Dorado, and do what Percy Fawcett couldn't do. As a one-player game, it's not much different. Now, and I've said this before, and other times I've been talking about the Lost Expedition, I have yet to play head-to-head, so I'm not sure about how that's going to feel. But that'll probably come up on a 2-player game session that we're doing, not a solo game session that we're doing. But it's a really fun game. If you're looking for a game to solo that you can bang out in less than an hour, and have a lot of fun thinking, a lot of deep thinking fun while managing your resources, then I definitely say that Lost Expedition might be one of your favorites as well. That's my Osprey games. Number three, I have yet to defeat in a solo game. One Deck Dungeon. So this is a game that's designed as a 1-2 player game per box. If you buy more than one of the base game, you can play up to 4. There's also an expansion that will allow you to play. It's a standalone expansion, so you can play it by yourself. You can play it with one other player. But if you have the original game, the core game, you can combine that for up to a 4-player game. That's why I have it listed here. Games you can solo as opposed to games made specifically for one player, because this comes close, but it's not. It plays best one player, I think, so far. Then again, maybe Tommy V wasn't the best partner for me the last time we played. That was a few Friday Night Fillers ago. Yeah, so even with him helping me, we still couldn't beat the One Deck Dungeon. But it's still a lot of fun. It keeps beating me, and I keep wanting to play it. And it's more than just I want to play it to beat it now. I'm still having fun, so I'm going to play it again. And I'm eventually going to beat it. This is more the attitude. Everything is done through time. I like the way the cards manage time in the game, as far as you delving down to get to the furthest level where the epic boss is going to be. And during that time, you want to get down there quickly, because the more time you spend on the levels, the more you're going to get nickeled and dimed on your health. So that's, kind of dangerous. But then again, the more time you spend up there getting nickeled and dimed, the better you're going to be when you face the epic boss, because you're going to have more skills and abilities, more potions, higher levels, so you can carry more stuff. It's a really fine balance. And it's all balanced through the deck itself, because everything is done with this one deck, hence the name. When you're taking a monster for treasure that you defeated, or not even necessarily defeated, if you encountered it and survived, you get to choose how you want that card to be represented, with experience points, or with a skill, or with an item, a potion. And at the same time, the deck is also managing the time, because the faster the deck goes through, and then you have to reshuffle, that's the next level. And then you go through that, and you shuffle again, and you're in the final boss level. So it's a really fine balance. And I think that may be one reason why I've been having such a good time playing this game, is the way it all works out. The mechanics of it is very smooth, and it's an easy game to introduce to people. So the number 3 slot, One Deck Dungeon. Now we're coming into the final two, the top two. And this was interesting. I had to kind of definitely think these two out more than anything else so far, because these games are at a level with me that it doesn't matter. I could pull either of these two games down at any time and play solo and have a lot of fun with it, enjoy it, and I wouldn't feel bad that I didn't pick the other one. But if I did pick the other one, it would be the same exact thing, and I wouldn't feel bad that I didn't pick the first one. So it was a little bit of a tight one, but this is the order I went in. So the number two favorite game of mine that I can solo is Lucidity. Bam! Now, this was a game I saw on Kickstarter, but I did not kickstart at the time, and I am so sorry right now. I am so sorry that I let that Kickstarter pass me by. I would love to have been part of it. I would love to have the deluxe Kickstarter edition and everything. But more importantly, I would love to have just been part of bringing this game to the public, because it's so much fun. It's a horror game. It's a dice set collection game with Yahtzee style elements to it. And basically you're a dreamer and you're trying to steal power from the dream world, while at the same time avoiding the nightmares, and even more so becoming a nightmare yourself. But you can still win the game if you are a nightmare. And it changes the game up a little bit. You have slightly different things that you're going to be doing as a nightmare. But the strategy in this game is very deep as far as the dice placement goes, and how you're going to do it. It really works out to a level that starts off really kind of easy going, But then after about the second, or definitely after the second turn, if not, then after the third turn, that's when you start seeing, oh man, this game is this game is getting a little stressy. Stuff is starting to pile up here. Things are happening now. So it definitely has that slow approach, and that is the way to handle a game that has stress elements in it. And Lucidity, I think, just does it perfectly with this. It balances it so well that it makes me enjoy the little bit of stress that it peppers out as the game continues, as you're advancing from round to round, turn to turn, and things are happening. Dice are collected where you don't want them to collect, and it's just boom, a little bit here, a little bit there, and I think that really makes it a lot of fun. And that might be one of the reasons that keeps drawing me back to this particular game. That's for sure. Lucidity. If you're looking for a one-player game, now this plays up to 4 players, but has a one-player variant. So it makes it a little bit different in how you're playing the game. If you're used to playing this game multiplayer and you haven't played it solo yet, make sure you double check the rules, because there are a few differences in how everything plays out, especially with the nightmares themselves. So check that out, Lucidity. That's my number 2. Now we're down. Yes, we are, my friends. We're here. The number 1 game, my personal favorite game to solo. And I guess, honestly, even though I haven't done a list like this before, I could say this game has been sitting at the top of the list since I first soloed it, probably. And that's Tiny Epic Galaxies. Yeah. Now, I really enjoy this game multiplayer. I think it plays well either way, whether you're playing with multiple players or you're playing solo. Because, again, much like the previous game, Lucidity, Tiny Epic Galaxies, it tweaks itself just a little bit. There's something different when you're playing solo than it just being you playing a solo game of the multiplayer game. It is different. You are fighting this rogue galaxy as an AI opponent, which really makes the game very interesting. And that's what I love about the game, is how it brings in these different levels. Because whatever card you're playing for the color of the galaxy you want, you get to choose. The backside of all the galaxies has the Rogue Galaxy version on it. And they're all different levels, from novice to easy to, I can't even remember, because I haven't really gotten able to defeat many of them yet myself on the solo. But so this way, it has a sliding experience, so to speak, on the game. So if you get used to it, you can always just buzz up to the next card level and see how you do against that galaxy. And all the galaxies do play out a little bit different, which is why they have different difficulties. And that makes a multiplayer game that you're soloing really cool. It makes it you're bringing something different. Like I said before, it's not just you playing a 4-player game by yourself. Now it's you playing a solo version of this game, but yet the game wasn't made to be a solo game. I also think that if you're going to do that, you might as well get the expansion Beyond the Black, because that's going to add in so many more fun elements, such as getting captains and just exploring as well, exploring Beyond the Black. So those, my friends, are my top 5 favorite board games to solo. Again, there's a difference between a specifically solo board game. That'll be a different list. But my 5 favorite games that you can solo, that are made that you can solo. So number 5 was Fallen Land. Number 4, The Lost Expedition. Number 3, One Deck Dungeon. Number 2, Lucidity. And the number 1 favorite game of mine to solo, Tiny Epic Galaxies. So if you're looking for games that you can solo, games that have on hand that you can play with multiplayers, or play by yourself, at times no one can make it, or you suddenly have some free time and nothing to do, and like, wow, wouldn't mind playing a game for an hour. There's a list of 5 games that my 5 favorite games to throw down on the table in solo. Maybe all of them, some of them, or at least one of them can be a game that you're going to enjoy as well, and you can solo and have a lot of fun with that. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for checking us out on Facebook. Thank you for checking us out on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, as always, thank you so much for subscribing to us right here on YouTube, for liking, for commenting, and wow, and for sharing our videos when you do like them on your other social media sites. Thank you so much. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here. Boom!